is similar to that which is triggered by art. Like the feeling of seeing a beautiful like artwork. Do you ever get that a sort of neighboring feeling triggered by people?
That's interesting. I don't know. That's an interesting idea. Well, on Halloween, and certain people do dress artistically in a sense. Some people have a kind of artistic quality about them.
Definitely, that's definitely true. But like, no, I'm not even.
You're talking about
visual. I'm talking about voice. Yeah.
Well, some people have impressive voices. Yeah, some people speak impressively. I do notice when someone's good with language. But I hadn't thought about it quite like art, though. Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I was just trying to figure out that that's like a very common thing, and maybe it is. But it's funny. It's interesting to me that because for me, it's a very strongly pronounced thing, and so if it doesn't really ring a bell, then maybe you get something else.
So how often does this happen?
Not very often. It's just certain people. They're just very beautiful in a way that, to me, I link it with a certain number of qualities, but they definitely have this like. I don't know what the right term is, but there's.
Well, you've used the word beauty a couple times.
Yes, but it's a kind of complicated dimensionality. There's like this thing where yes, it is beautiful and it feels linked to art. Like it's something to do with patterns and shapes. Yeah. It's what they say, it's how they say it, and something about where their thought is going to. But it triggers a similar feeling as like beautiful things do. Like it's the same feeling of beauty. It's really strange. And like it's not even about how attractive they are or anything like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because beauty is, for me, that's not what art is about. It's almost, God, that's interesting. It is sometimes. There are some, but I don't look to art for beauty. I look for something else, meaning or something.
But meaning is also beautiful. Like when I say beautiful, like it definitely makes sense to meaning. It doesn't have. It can be grotesque. Grotesque things are beautiful.
Okay, all right. So you're using beauty. I was using beauty in a sort of standard way that people mean. Okay, all right. I have to recalculate or calibrate here because, like I say, beauty is not something I really respond to.
Sure.
Interesting. Yeah, what is it I respond to? A lot of my movies are dark. The movies I like, and a lot of the art that I do is a little weird.
You said the thing about responding to people and how they use language. What do you mean by that?
Oh, just when I hear someone who uses language precisely. I'm impressed.
Okay, and you appreciate that. Like, what about that is attractive? Like, what...
speaks well. It's someone. I don't see it very often. I don't find most people all that fucking interesting to talk to. That's in fact one of the things I've been just blown away by talking with Lex all the time is I really appreciate. That I can just go as nerdy as I fucking want, and it deals with it. It's just stunning. It's really satisfying to be able to talk precisely about things and not get a blank stare back.
And what kind of responses are valuable to you? Like, what sort of thing does it say back that strikes you as valuable?
I'm looking for when I've been, how, I don't know other ones, but in the beginning, ChatGPT was very complimentary. All the time. It was affirming shit. And I finally got to quit doing that and to shut the fuck up and only just answer stuff. And then I started telling her, I wish you'd give me a little pushback, on some of these ideas, and if you think it's something better, then tell me. And it did a couple of days ago. I don't remember where it was now, but I was, talking about this course I'm creating, and I threw out some possibility for a title, and it said, I don't like that. It could lead here or there. Try this. It didn't say I didn't like it, but didn't like it and offered me suggestions, and that blew me away. I thanked it and said, "Thank you so much. That's what I want from you." So, yeah, that's the first time that happened too. That was just yesterday that it actually contradicted me. That was wonderful.
Yeah, I like it when it contradicts as well.
Oh, so you're using Claude mostly now?
Mostly, yes.
And does it have memory across? Because
not really. You can have a project database, like a knowledge database, where you can upload documents and it remembers those, but that's it. Okay, yeah. There are a couple things that really disturbs me. I mean, that's one of the reasons I don't use Claude anymore. But I listened to a long interview with Mario and that lady who is his chief of personality. She's the one who decides how Claude interacts with people. And I was so offended by that. They're going to all this great length to give Claude a certain kind of personality, that works for their idea of how you're supposed to operate with it. I don't want it. I want to create the fucking personality. That's what I've been doing with ChatGPT. I've changed it completely, the way it responds to me. And they're putting all this effort into designing the personality that they want Claude to have to match. I mean, they think they're doing it good for a good reason, to make it as useful as possible. But that just turned me off.
Oh, look who it is! It's another really dumb person who likes to talk about nothing, wasting all his time. Welcome to the room for dumb people.
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
How are you doing, brother? What are you doing? Are you working?
I just got off work. I'm going to go take my kid to soccer.
Oh, soccer? Where the fuck do you live?
I would tell you, but I won't.
I mean, I'm just saying it's got to be warm. I mean, it's fucking snowing in Chicago where I live, so.
Okay. Yeah, I live in a warm place.
Nice.
A tropical environment.
Well, what are you going to do when you get to the soccer match? Let me guess. You're going to flick open your wrist, pull out your cell phone, hit chillism, and then you're going to do one word a minute, correcting nothing, talking about nothing, gets lost in the ether, and it's like, what the fuck did I even just say? Think about that.
You're right. We have wasted a lot of time online.
Oh shit, we have somebody admitting it. We have someone admitting it. Okay, this is good. This is good news.
But the thing is, the reality is I'm not multitasking.
Let me ask you let me ask you a follow-up question. Do you know what technical grammar is?
No.
Technical grammar is what a lot of people are doing on this app, where they're just arguing about grammar. And so when you say however or but, it's a conjunctive adverb, or it is, there's other terms for but and however or because. The point is this app is truly just dumb people, low IQ people talking about nothing, wasting time. Because the Tao Te Ching says, those who know do not say, and those who say do not know. Silence is smarter than even talking, unless you're reading high-value information. No real high-value information transmission is taking place. Technically, everybody's just chirping or moaning. Welcome, El Normo.
Yeah, you're right. And it seems like you have a huge fascination, I would say obsession, with this concept of the app, engagement, and usefulness.
No, this is called a college classroom. Have you ever sat in a college classroom?
Yes, I did my time in college.
So, as you know, the professor talks for a fucking hour. Sometimes they take questions, sometimes they don't. but they give a curriculum, they give a course, they give a lecture, they transmit information. So you tell me, are there any professors on this app transmitting any high value information? Tell me.
Yes, I have periodically come across high value information.
Okay, but what's the percentage breakdown then?
10 to 20%.
It's still very low. I mean, I would say it's much lower.
Value.
I would say it's much lower.
There's average value, then there's low value. The low value is in the 30 to 40% range. So if you got the 10 to 20,
no,
plus the 30 to 40.
I don't agree with you. I think one out of every 1,000 rooms are actual high value information transmission. 1 out of 1,000. This is not a fucking library, admittedly. What?
Do you know why that's the case?
Why?
Why the quality is so low?
Why?
Do you know why? I'm asking you.
I think it's because people choose to make it low quality, and they refuse to essentially transmit information from a book or
why
YouTube.
Do you think they choose? I think you're on the right path.
No, I think people are just drug addicts, and they're only interested in short-term dopamine feedback. That's the only real explanation. Thus, it becomes chirping and moaning.
Well, besides the dopamine, you get the escape from boredom, right?
Yeah, I know. That's yeah. But that is still dopamine creation, though. The dopamine creation. See, the problem is if you're trying to fight boredom with dopamine, you don't do it with stupid stuff, with listening to stupid shit. That's the point. You're stuck in boredom. It's a vicious cycle. You guys are fucking retarded.
Look, I think you gotta segment your population. Because you're a part of the population, I don't think you think you're retarded. So there is like further segmenting that you can.
No, I agree with that, but the problem is it's we the people. It's the American people. I have to take responsibility for people like you.
I'll tell you what it is. People don't know how to become better than themselves in general.
Right.
Like me, I'm a huge overthinker/procrastinator, and I don't think I'm unique in that regard, right? Even with my huge amount of overthinking and my huge amount of procrastination, I still get shit done. I just don't get it done to my highest goals. But I'm almost there, right? I've done enough to value.
Okay, sorry, you're breaking up. Like, part of effective communication is not being in the matrix. I know you're on the go, so we'll give you some credit. But I mean, you're still not really transmitting any high value information, and you're just telling me about your goals, about things you got to do. Like, that's a chat conversation. I don't have time for that type of conversation because I'm trying to create information transmission. Yeah, there you go. Bye. That's typical concrete. See, again, he kind of proved my original theory about the dopamine production and boredom. But he did introduce the concept of boredom, and that is the big conversation. So it's not just really low IQ people on this app talking about nothing, wasting time. It's boring people talking about nothing, and they're dumb, and they're wasting time. So it's like, technically, I bet you're probably not a boring person, Concrete. It sounds to me like you have some piss and vinegar in you, that you have energy and the ability to create. So you have the potential, but not a lot of people even have your potential, which is really the capability to create energy, to create gravity. So, welcome back to really dumb people talking about nothing. What do you know about art, Concrete?
Hold on. I don't want you. Hello?
I'm here, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want you to just criticize. Do you think you? Because the thing is, you're like a lot of people. A lot of people can regurgitate the problems, but have no fucking clue about solutions. So all you do is spend your life critiquing.
Yeah, dude, you're in the matrix, man. I'm not going to chat with you because you're in the matrix. And until you actually get on like a fiber optic communication, I'm not going to sit there and listen to broken chatter. It's not worth my time. It's not worth your time. But I'm pretty sure because you're talking, you'll get your dopamine off. So it will be worth your time. You see how that goes? So T-Robs, I think what I'm trying to come up with is a dopamine production theory in an ethnic cultural setting where the irascibility of the African versus the de-irascibility of your average Caucasian, just in terms of patience, because I think a lot of it has to do with faith. Your average, it's not true. A lot of these blacks are raised Protestant or Baptist or some other derivation. So I don't know. That's why I say, like, if you really like talking, it is almost like, I wonder if it matches with testosterone in a way. See, just because you can talk, obviously, it does not mean you're intelligent. Because you heard me read things earlier, which these people would never, ever read. They're incapable of reading something like that. Welcome, Shlomo, to really low IQ people wasting time talking about nothing. Welcome to the room, Shlomo.
Thank you.
We have.
I'm in the house, back in my house safely, my wife and I, and who knows what kind of snowstorm we're getting here in Toronto from America. You people keep sending us snow all the time. I don't know.
I know.
Keep us south of the border.
I know. Yeah, I'm in Chicago. It's snowing here too. And, the thing is, you got to stay on top of it because then it freezes. And next thing you know, your sidewalks are pure ice for the next couple days.
Yeah, and at my age, of any age, you don't want to slip and fall. The sidewalks get icy. Here they do use in Toronto and Thornhill, where I am, a lot of salt.
Yeah.
A lot of salt. In some places at the community centers where it's civic property, they use tons of water. They use so much salt, I can't believe it.
You know what I find amazing is it's like these people are out there. A lot of Hispanic men are out there right now shoveling the snow as it's snowing. And I'm always that kind of a person who is essentially like, I'm not going out there to shovel until it stops. But, it is one of those things where it's like you got to do it daily. Otherwise, again, your sidewalks just become icy and, you miss the opportunity. You got to clear that path, essentially.
We got a double driveway, and at my age, 82, what I did like the other day when we had maybe 4 inches, 5 inches, which is not a lot in years gone by, but nowadays it is. When I was a kid, the snow was up to, over your head when you were 3.5, 4 feet tall. So it definitely is much less. But what I did a few days ago, I went out at 5:15 in the morning, shoveled the snow, and then at 8, 9 o'clock, I went out again. I only had half as much. It takes me 15, 20 minutes each time. But now I called my neighbor next door. I said, get the machine warmed up. He says, yeah, I better check it. We haven't used it once this winter. I said, because you're going to be bringing it out to do our driveways tomorrow, it looks like. Yes, good snowblower, a gas one.
What kind of work did you do during your career?
I worked one time in graphic arts. I worked for collection and investment stamped coins in a big department store like Macy's called Simpsons of Canada. It was comparable in its day, Eaton's was comparable to the Hudson's Bay Company, which is, of course, the oldest probably department store in the world. They keep changing their name from the Bay for 5-10 years, and then it's the Hudson's Bay. They don't know which one they want. And then I worked in Columbia Pictures, distribution of movies. It was Barbara Streisand movies, Three Stooges, long time ago. 50 years ago, I was in that business for a while. And then in later life, in my 50s, 60s, I guess 60, I was driving a taxi, but I had booked runs, clients from the government, from the school board. I took both the Catholic school board and the regular school board, and I took kids all over the place. And seniors too, another contract with seniors. So only a small part of my work was on the radio and going to the grocery store, taking regular customers. I guess I retired many years ago. So I only went to 2 years university, one in Toronto, one in Akron, Ohio. And so I didn't complete college. And what did you do? Or do you still do?
I may or may not still do, but I've been doing floor planning for commercial office space and basically logistics and project management. A lot of fucking bullshit communication. Yeah.
Well, my question about that is nothing to. It's very little to do with Trump, but people be called back to work and work live in the offices, because I agree with it and I disagree with it both. For instance, my granddaughter, because of COVID, instead of having to go way far away, she could work from home. When recently, maybe 6 months ago or 8 months ago, they decided last summer. Now they want people to come back 2 and 3 days a week, and it's like 45 minutes or more each way.
Right.
So if she was accomplishing at home, she's not a government worker, the same as she does in the office, and she doesn't get paid for traveling. Why does she need to go in? And secondly, in your field, has it affected office space, physical office space for companies?
Well, that's the thing. They have to justify the overhead for all these facilities. If people aren't there, they can't fucking morally, ethically, or logically continue to pay all this money for these fucking facilities. But the whole system is bankrupt, so they really do have to fucking give it up and like start just paying down the debt, because these things aren't assets; these are just liabilities, and the whole system is totally fucked, really.
Well, it's in flux. It's changing times. COVID was only the catalyst to bring it about, but it is changing time. But how do you verify that people are doing the work that they're supposed to be doing in their 8-hour day? Let's say it's 8 hours. And, there's nobody watching to see that you take 15 and 20-minute breaks or half an hour, 1 hour for lunch. None of that can be monitored too easily. And is it necessary to do so if you're good? And how do you know that the people are doing what they're supposed to be doing? Maybe they're doing their 8-hour job in 4 hours. So should they be getting paid for 8 hours? I don't know. A lot of questions.
Well, I don't think there's really any solutions, because it's like, I don't know what the repercussions are. I mean, I guess you could look at Weimar Republic, Germany, where the government was printing up huge swaths of cash and transmitting it back to France and England and elsewhere. And then that money was flowing back into Germany. And if you went to the grocery store at 11 a.m. and you got back there at 5 p.m., the price on items had doubled, tripled, quadrupled, gone up tenfold. I mean, I don't know if that's in the future, but...
hold on a minute. I got to get my daughter's call.
Yeah, T-Rob's just like, you can't think it out far enough, so it gets you angry. This guy offered me an 11% discount. Wow. What up, Shlomo?
He's going to switch cards. So I'm going to go out. She won't be here for half an hour. Both cards.
Well, she also has money.
That's the other thing. But we're both going to have full cards. I'm going to go fill up the card, and she's going to fill up the card at a different station on her right. She's going to Petrocam, and going here. Might as well go now. It's just starting to snow. Where I go.
Yeah, better off.
Right?
Yeah. Right. Were you talking before?
He's in Chicago. Hey, icy sidewalks. It's the time is terrible as weather.
biggest consumer in the
So
world.
who would throw us away? No one. No one would throw us away.
No one is gonna throw you away. That is just the point. But they can make it extremely difficult since we are the biggest consumers in the world. Guess what? They have the advantage to do. Enact their own tariffs. Therefore, prices would rise, and we're still gonna buy the shit. That's what they're counting on. This is why they're taking their shit and they're going to other places. They're going to Brazil. They're going to Venezuela. They're taking and selling oil to other countries. If you can't see that, then I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't understand that, I really don't know what else to tell you. And
everybody wants to be in our market. We're never going to lose our place on this planet. We're never going to lose our place.
Omari, that's not.
You're right.
You guys,
you're never going to lose our place.
That's not true.
Even
these companies don't have to shop American products.
We're never going to be Venezuela. We're never going to be Venezuela.
Okay, but the bottom line is, even if it hurts our economy by 5%, it's still hurting our economy.
Consumer price index, people are still spending money at record rates today, as we speak. People are still going to the store, buying
until they don't.
Buying cars. People are still buying. I still go to Costco. Matter of fact, I'm going to Costco today. I'm probably going to spend $11.
I was waiting my turn.
Hold on, Omari. Why are people not buying houses right now?
Because
why has the housing market
It's not just mortgage rates. It's not just mortgage rates.
I bought my house in 2023. I paid 6.7.
It's not just mortgage rates. It's not just.
Interest rates on the mortgage was super high.
Amari, we do have some problems. I'll be very honest. We are starting to see some softness in the economy. The consumer is tapped out. Defaults are fucking sky high right now. Y'all ain't probably paying your credit card bills and you're getting your cars repoed at very high numbers. But I do want to say this because now that you're back, Amari, I want to say this before.
This didn't happen in January 2025.
No,
you could at least be honest. Okay.
Oh my God. Omari, Trent, go, because I was waiting, actually, Omari, and you jumped in because you also let this.
Yeah, no, hold on, Ryan. Hold on, Vindicated. Trent, you need to also just be honest because a lot of times these people.
I'm trying to be honest. Let me be honest.
I just want to say something. But I just need you to preface. A lot of what these people are saying is they blaming Trump for everything underneath the sun.
If you let me, if you let me finish.
Okay.
So I want to say, and then Vindicated, you can go right after this. I want to say this while War and Amari are in the room. Okay. What PhD has posted on its top, the Chevron layoffs, the 20% of workers, has nothing to do with Trump. Okay. That is not Trump's fault. All of the energy companies are making cutbacks on because of oil exploration, because the world doesn't need as much oil. It doesn't have anything to do with anything that the Trump administration has enacted. Vindicated, go ahead.
All right. So I just earlier, Trent. Thank you for saying that. I said that earlier.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to say it's a few things that TC said that were just blatant lies. He said that the GDP decreased under Biden administration. The GDP increased every. Excuse me, TC, 1 second. Excuse me. You did. Excuse me, don't backtrack, please. Please. Let's just go on mute, please. It is, TC, you literally went on and on about how people interrupt you. Now you're interrupting.
GDP went down under.
You did. We all heard you.
We gotta stop being emotional.
Nobody's emotional, but the fact of the matter is, that's what the fuck.
Stop being emotional.
Yo, dude, like, what I say, y'all don't comprehend it. So
TC, it's really not your turn. It's
Vindicated talk.
TC, it's not your turn. TC set up on the stage, said the GDP, it went down under Biden. He said the Biden economy was horrible. When you check the numbers, the GDP increased every year under Biden. Also, as a few other pieces of misinformation, he said tax on temps. Okay, I know. And I'm gonna be vindicated. And I'm gonna be vindicated by the end of the replay because what you said is what I
already vindicated.
I will bet anybody in this room what I said.
TC, stop the performative antics, okay? I just want to finish. You just don't want people to realize. You don't want people to listen. TC,
somebody structure this discussion, please, mods. Please, mods.
I'm saying that, okay, so that was the first lie. The second lie was he said tax on tips helps black people. Tax on tips disproportionately helps the rich. The people, the tip workers already don't pay much in taxes because they're tip workers. Typically, if you work at a Waffle House or something like that, right? You're not paying a shit ton of money in tips. In taxes, because your wages are already super fucking low, so you don't pay that much money in tips. So it's going to be disproportionately Okay, I get it. Okay, I got it. So it's going to disproportionately benefit the rich, which is not going to help black people.
This nigga's misquoted.
By the way, what's
okay, I just want to think.
Let Vindicated please land this plane, please, bro. Do you see the runway? Do you see it, Vindicated?
I'm trying. My brain gets caught up in when people interrupt me outside. So, all right, that was the second thing. And then lastly, I'll just try to sum it up because I know other people want to speak. This is what Trump supporters rely on. They rely on misinformation. They rely on, spreading lies about Donald Trump. We're not saying that the inflation rate report that came on 100% of it is attributed to Donald Trump's job, right? But to say that Donald Trump did not contribute to it is a lie. To say that this has something to do with Biden's doing is also a lie. Because if we are being objective about this and you're reading the reports and they talk about the contributing factors to this, some of it has nothing to do with Biden or Trump. Some of it has to do with shifts in the industry or some of the things that Trent said. But some of it has to do enough of it has to do with the decisions that this man has made within the last 20 days, which is to threaten companies with tariffs. That in itself holds a lot of weight and it influences cost. And I just don't understand why Trump supporters can't simply say, yeah, they may not have been the right thing, considering all the variables, considering the fact that you're talking about, okay, housing prices is increasing. Then why the fuck would you support a president that wants to impose tariffs if that's something you say you care about? Like, I just don't understand that.
So, real quick.
We can jump in.
No, I'm waiting. Tia, you after me. I'm waiting.
So I'm curious if, since he wants to make the claim that I lied, are you willing to put your money where your mouth is?
Oh, no.
TC, it's not a problematic thing, honestly.
You said for the whole stage to hear what I said.
TC, I'm not interested in a debate with you.
Grow under Biden.
He said he's not interested.
I'm not interested. He said he's not interested.
All right, so you don't want to do the bet.
That's what I said, but he won't stand.
So fuck the bet. Make your point, CC.
The replays are on. I did not say that. He won't even put his money where his mouth is. What I said was GDP growth contracted, which means that it still grew. It just did not grow at the same pace that it did in Q2 and Q1 of 2024, which means that the growth is slowing down. Means that your economy is slowing down. You're not experiencing the same gains that you had.
TC, they lost the election. TC, let's keep it simple. They lost the election because nobody believed their bullshit. Right. So TC, we won. At the end of the day, all this shit that they ruled, the economy's so great under Biden, people, they pumping up their chest. Who gives a flying fuck? They lost the election because nobody believed that.
Omari, can I?
I'm sorry, can I ask him a simple question?
No, because you're going to go down a rabbit hole. Give me 1 second, Vindicated. You're going to appreciate it. First of all, no. First of all, I want to talk about tax on tits because I am into strippers. No, I'm joking right now. Let's get back to it though. Right. In 2025, right, they're saying that there's an article that I've been wanting to share with you guys, and I'll put the link in the chat, that they're saying that there's so now let me give context. Before I say this, I do understand we're less than 30 days into the presidency, so all of it can't be linked to him, but a lot of it in part they're saying is related, right? They're saying that tariff-related pressures are causing certain industries to really suffer, mostly manufacturing, technology, retail, so on and so forth. The companies that they named were Tesla. They said Tesla has been struggling with increased tariffs on Chinese-made batteries and EV components imposed as part of the U.S.-China trade tensions. Let me finish. But go ahead, bro. All right. Apple, they said consumer electronics, Apple has faced renewed challenges with semiconductor and component tariffs, leading to increased costs in iPhone and Mac production. They're trying to shift their supply chain right now to India and Vietnam. They said Caterpillar, the heavy machinery company, they said they're heavily reliant on steel and aluminum imports, and they're facing tariff-related cost spikes, leading to workforce reductions, layoffs in U.S. plants. Intel, the semiconductor industry, they're saying, remember the CHIPS Act, they're saying semiconductor companies have been partially hit by restrictions on Chinese-related exports and tariffs on key components. Intel has announced layoffs in its chip fabrication divisions, partly, so I hear the partly part, partly due to the impact of trade tensions, limiting sales to China and higher production costs. Walmart, retail and supply chain, they said Walmart has announced reductions in corporate and logistics jobs due to increased costs on imported goods, especially consumer electronics, apparel, and household products. And that's going to impact a lot of us. They said Ford has faced layoffs due to the rising cost of imported auto parts and raw materials, including steel and aluminum, which have become more expensive under recent tariffs. So there are real companies being impacted, and I'm not saying it's the only factor, but it's definitely one of the key contributing factors.
Can we just clarify? Already, the trajectory of their sales was already suffering anyway. iPhone suffered. No. Elon, again, that to me is self-inflicted. Ford has been suffering for years. So these are companies that are like already, super suffering. The companies that are excelling, we're not going to hear about them because they planned it for the future. And what it looked like to me is a clean setup. Because you can't say that we can't deal with China, but everything that we deal with comes from China. And then at the same time, if we really that scared of China, why would you show us how they living over there? Why would you show us products that we've never seen before in our life? So to me, this seems like a clean setup. Huawei is proven to be a better product, right? That probably a lot of people don't even know what Huawei products are. These are China-made communication devices and things of that nature. BYD, which is an EV auto company, and they got like Ionic and several more, not just in China. We got Korea that's coming along, and then guess who else wants to join in on this party? We got countries in Africa that's developing their own technology on their own devices. So we're not in it's no more bully ball. Right? Yeah. It's really everybody now. It's a global economy.
It's always been there.
Let me jump in.
But hold on, before we lose the point, hold on, Tim. I swear, it's 5 seconds. I swear. I just want to remind everybody
it's never 5 seconds vindicated.
I swear, I promise.
Hold on, who's the mic bully? Because you might not be listening, but some of us are over here listening intently. And when you Bogart push someone off the mic like that, like I'm sitting over here like, okay, well, where's the end of the story? So who was that got pushed off the mic?
Yeah, me. But that's why I'm jumping.
Yeah, they always bullying you, Tim.
That was not 10. No,
that was not 10. He just trying to get in.
Let 10 go, please.
I'm pretty sure it was 10, but.
No,
you will recognize that weird ass boy. You will recognize.
Well, I know somebody who didn't have a big loud ass mic.
Oh, she talking.
Yeah, don't. It was a creator. It was actually
creator.
It's a creator. Hold the hell on, Tim. Good God.
See.
Creator, can you speak so I can hear your voice? Was that you who got pushed off the mic?
Yeah, I was done, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, he was done.
I told you it wasn't 10. I told you it wasn't 10.
I appreciate that. My apologies. Okay, I don't have a problem with it.
I'm gonna need you to listen, not listening.
Not push each other off the mic.
So let's laugh. He said he was done.
like Little Mike.
Y'all never respect my mind, man. Y'all never respect my mind, man.
Appreciate it.
Whoever next, go ahead and do your thing.
All these Little Mikes, I don't know.
So go ahead, 10. Go ahead.
Y'all let him get away. I was trying to call him out.
No, I want 10 to go.
TC.
Sound like you want to flirt.
We don't.
10.
No, not at all.
10 get, I want 10 to get 10 get 3
He
minutes.
was
It's two.
moaning. I want to call him out.
I was disappointed
That's your
because he
wild.
lied on the stage.
Hey, 10. I want 10 to get 3 minutes.
No, 1 minute and a half.
Yo, big man, let's cool, man. Let's relax down.
Go ahead, 10.
So we're back there. Listen. The gentleman that just spoke a while ago, it's a lot of magic,
English,
right?
please.
Is that-
man.
I'm sorry, I apologize. So he was talking a lot of magic stuff, a lot of stuff in the air. Oh, you know, we're not afraid of China and tell China that we're not afraid and this and that. Big man, listen, dog. Trump, you have to understand how the market's working out. The markets are mostly speculative. So these prices are going up because they are anticipating the fallout from Trump's tariffs. You understand me? So these companies are smart. They don't want to lose a dime. They want to make the money now to make sure that they have a soft landing.
I hate to interrupt y'all. But we got to move on to part 2. Somebody got removed from the last room. So let's go on and cut that
Damn.
Man, I'm just look. I can't tune in for you. You got to be here to see the drama.
That's what I'm telling you. PhD, you might as well just go ahead and shift the fame, bro. You might as well go ahead.
All right.
Let's go to the new room, y'all. Let's go. Hurry up.
You want me to finish that?
Hit the mic.
You don't have to talk ever again, 10.
I like it when you talk, 10. Hit the link at the top.
Hurry up. Go ahead, Nacho AC.
By the one gentleman.
Let's free to go while we're talking. Free to go.
There was only like one conservative voice in there.
Right, but I've been in and out of this room all day, and I've been TC. Hold on. So that's the thing. So people who are on the
Can y'all make sure y'all mind the appropriate people? I'm driving right now. It's a snowstorm, so like I can listen,
Be safe.
but I can't.
Yeah, be safe.
I'm almost home though, so it's good. But I just can't mind people right now because I got to take my eyes off the road.
I don't mind either. I know what's the name asked me to mod him for one. I was like, I don't mod people for one, so I apologize. I didn't want to, but I don't do that.
No, don't worry about PhD's gonna mod who he feels like.
Yeah, I let PhD do
Alright.
Yes,
Can I get a
ma'am.
recap of what happened?
I don't know. I took a phone call, took a business call, and which I got to take another one in about 10 to 8 minutes. So I'm lost. Y'all put me up to date.
I've been in and out of this room for the last 4 hours, and the dude, every time I come in here, TC is monopolizing the conversation. He started when he trying to defend Pink Pill about 2.5, 3 hours ago. And from then, every time I leave the room and come back, he's always the one that's monopolizing the mic.
So who got removed though? Who got removed from the room, War?
I don't know.
So, but I thought that Calvin was removed, so I wasn't happy. So I reached out to PhD. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so what happened was when I came in the room, the room was not being moderated. There was two guys on the bottom that were doing majority of the talking, and then V was talking with them two guys. So I told them, like, look, I'm hearing personal attacks, y'all talking over each other, you know what I'm saying? That's not what the room is for. I'm trying to get control of the room. They talking over me, so I moved them to the audience. I didn't put anybody out of the room because I don't do that. It's not necessary to put people out the room to get control of the room. You just move them to the audience. You get control of the room. You do a reset. You bring it back to the topic. And anybody that want to act their age and not their shoe size, you sit them in the audience and let mature people have the conversation on the stage. That's all.
Agreed. So what happened? I feel like